Well, folks, Antonio T. Smith Jr. is doing it again.
He's done it again.
Yes, he has, giving away so much knowledge just to help you succeed, walk out of the middle class, become a multimillionaire. He is giving away his book just for you.
The name of that book, The Richest Man in the Trash Can. You want to make sure you get this book. Here's why.
If you are someone who is tired, frustrated, irritated of the day-to-day schedule of waking up, going to work, going back home, going to sleep just to do it all over again, not being able to spend time with your family, you just got married, you just had kids, or you take care of your parents and you're not there to do it, this is the book for you.
And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This book is free 99. Yes, you heard me. Free 99. Okay? All yours for free.
Yes, free 99. All you have to do is just pay shipping and handling.
That's it.
$9.95 just to get your free book. This book is a life changer. I'm trying to tell you guys, everything in this book is what Antonio taught myself and Grace that enabled us to retire. Yes, we are retired and we haven't even hit our 40s yet.
Woo!
I'm just saying.
I got a few months to go. Don't worry about it.
Shh. Don't nobody need to know that, girl. You don't look it.
That's it.
Go get it. Go get it and walk yourself out of the middle class into the life you deserve. Walk yourself into abundance. Abundance is freedom, and this book is your journey out.
You can plant better.
You can dominate.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Talk Tuesday. This is a coaching and training call brought to you by the ATS companies and its entire staff. To learn more about us and what we do, visit our new and improved site at theatsjr.com. Tonight, I'm not going to talk long because I always want to hear what Shannon has to say. If you don't know Shannon, she is Dr. Shannon R. Clark. We speak things into existence, but she is already graduated from her PhD program, and we are so happy and grateful. Plug for Antonio's new book, for her and her presence and for her knowledge. So without further ado, Dr. Shannon Clark, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being on the call today. I appreciate your presence. I do not take your time or your presence for granted. I'm going to jump right in. 13 reasons why life is good. So a bit of history about where this topic came from. About a week ago, I had to go to a suicide training for my job. At the moment, I work as a counselor in a public school district. And they were doing a presentation on suicide, changing up our approach to it. And they were referencing the movie or the series that came out on Netflix entitled 13 Reasons Why. And it was said that it was kind of a show that sensationalized suicide. And it was a young lady who decided to tag her suicide to 13 people that she blamed for her ending her life. And then it went into showing her graphically taking her own life. And it was so not in tune and not even factual with where suicide is on today. You know, kids do this very much so in a private manner. When a child takes their own life, they have done it. They're not telling 13 people that they did it. They're not blaming 13 people. 85% of kids that do kill themselves blame their parents. And so the show, it was sensationalizing suicide, but it wasn't sensationalizing it in a factual manner. And it made me think, if she can give 13 reasons why she's going to take her life, then I can certainly give you 13 reasons why life is good. And so that's where this topic came from on today, because I've been bombarded with school safety, kids taking their lives. This year, I've had 3 suicide cases that I've had to handle at the elementary school, where children are telling me how they would take their lives and why they don't want to live anymore, and they're not even 10 yet. And so I wanted to bring it to our minds that life is good, and we do have reason to say that, to believe that, and to feel that, and we need to channel that down to the generation that's coming up under us. So the number one reason that and these are not in any kind of hierarchical order. Number 1 isn't the supreme reason. It was just as they came to my mind, I listed them. So number 1, life is good because roller coasters turned out to be fun. I am from Texas. I am from Galveston, and I'm close to Houston. And so anybody that's from this area, most of you should know what Six Flags is. And so we had Astro World here, and I would go just about 2 to 3 times a year to this amusement park. But for about 6 to 7 years, I would never, ever get on a roller coaster because it looked scary. It appeared to be very scary. And so one time, I was a teenager by this time, and one of my friends told me, Shannon, don't be afraid. Come on. Let's just ride the ride. It is scary, but it's also thrilling. So I get on there. I'm in tears. The conductor of the ride says, if you scream, it won't make your stomach feel so funny, and you'll be okay. So long story short, to this day, I am not afraid of roller coasters, but the minute I sit down on a roller coaster and they lock me in, before it even starts to, I'm screaming. To the top of my lungs, I'm screaming. But it's because life is good and I know that it's fun. But in order for it to be fun for me, I have to scream when I take my seat. And so this brought me back to Antonio teaching me and teaching us that fear is not real. And we attach fear to experiences that we anticipate will hurt us, that we anticipate will harm us. But until we actually experience them, we don't know fear. It's just the make-believe thing that we place on things that we think we're afraid to experience. I love roller coasters now. I'll get on them. I'll scream. I'll be terrified. I'll go through the highs and lows. But that's number 1. Number 2, life is good because I allow others the enjoyment of their own lives. You live your life and enjoy it, and I'm going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to worry about what you're doing. I'm not going to dictate what you're doing. I'm not going to get frustrated by what you're doing, because when I allow it, allowance also gives mobility. So as I allow you to live your life, I also allow you to live it away from me if it affects me in a negative way, if it doesn't serve me. I hope that that's clear. I hope that I'm stating that clear. I allow everyone to live their life. And if you living your life in any way affects me living my life, then your allowance will be mobile. And I won't have to move you, because I allow you to live your life and I allow you to live it in the enjoyment of what you love to do. You will drift away from me. The reason why people stay in our circles and frustrate us and inhibit us from living our dreams is because we don't allow. We hold on and we try to withhold from them the things that they enjoy. If somebody enjoys plucking your nerves, they don't enjoy plucking your nerves. They enjoy plucking a nerve, and you lend yours. You have to remove yourself from the equation and life will be good. Number 3, life became good when I met me. We spend a lot of time living and being and existing outside of ourselves. When I found out that there was a source me, that there was a Shannon that I thought I knew for a very long time, but I just recently met the core of who I am, life became real sweet. Because I realized I'm a pretty good person. I'm all right. I'm cool to hang out with. I'm cool to be around. I'm not negative. I'm not toxic. I'm not depressed. I'm not any of that. I'm me. And when I met that person, life became outstanding. But it came at the cost of work. I had to work to find myself. As long as you're living for other people, as long as you're more worried about what other people are doing other than yourself, as long as you're living and helping other people achieve their dreams and not doing anything for yourself, you're not serving you, so you don't know you. And a lot of times we lack self-service because we lack self-knowledge. You can't serve who you don't know. We spend so much time serving and doing things for people that we feel we know when you don't even know yourself. And when you learn yourself, you figure out, hey, I don't want to serve you. I don't want to serve this, or this isn't serving me. And then you have to resituate some things, and you don't have to put your hands on a thing. When you get introduced to you, that's when the shifting and the drifting occurs. I ain't have to look at nobody and say, you get away from me. This, get away from me. It's just the way the cards fell. Number 4. Life is good because gratitude. I can't put because of gratitude, because I'm grateful. It's the word. The word is a word. And when you learn to be grateful and to exist in gratitude, to accept gratitude, to give it, to be grateful for everything, like you literally wake up in the morning and you are grateful that you have another day. You actually make it to your destination and you are grateful that you were allowed to make it there. You up late at night in books, studying, writing, trying to figure stuff out. It's tough, but you're grateful. When you learn to be grateful in all things, life is good. Life is good. Does this mean that things don't happen around me that I don't particularly care for? No, that's not what that means. But it does mean that I'm still grateful. It does mean that I'm still grateful. Number 5, life is good because I have a fence. We hear that phrase. If you're a person of faith, people will say, Jesus, be a fence around me. Well, that's good. I need Jesus to be a fence around me too. But I have a literal fence. I have a team of people that surround me, that support me, that make life good for me, even when I have my head down, even when I'm burdened, even when I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I see 6 pillars standing around me. Shannon, we got you. And it used to be, I got my mom, I got my dad, I got my brothers. But in essence, they all got their own stuff going on. I have a team where their specific job is to allow me to do what I'm doing right now. And so every day it's, hey, Doc, how you doing? I got you. Hey, do you need anything? I got you. Hey, and it's words, but there's so much energy behind those words. And a real fence is energized to protect what's inside of it. Somebody build you a really good fence. I got a good fence around the pool at my house. Don't nothing come in that fence that ain't welcome, because it's a good fence. And that's what I have around me in the form of people. And I appreciate it, and it's very necessary. Number 6, life is good because I let go. I let go of anything and anybody that no longer wanted to be held. You can't force anything to stay in your hands. And when you realize that, and you realize the power in letting go, you realize the invigoration you get of releasing something from your fist, life will become a lot more enjoyable for you. You try to hold on to things because of reasons we'll get to later, but let go. And in order to let go, I'm going to go ahead and bump number 12 up. You got to break the rules. You got to stop believing people when they say marriage is for life. Marriage don't have to be for life if you realize you married the wrong person. You got to stop. We pick and choose what principles we want to live by based on what was imparted upon us by the people that raised us. You have to create your own rules. And in order to create your rules, you got to break their rules and not be afraid to do so, because I told you before, fear ain't real. You know how many rules I've broken and I still have the same people around me that say, you know, that's cool. I like the way you did that thing right there. Or she ain't for me. Then move around. It's that simple. No hard feelings. You have to let go. And in order to let go, you have to break the rules. So now we're on number 8. Okay? Number 8 is I learned how to master my morning. Please get that. How you wake up is how you stay up. You have to have a routine of waking up. I wake up in the morning and I am grateful for about 5 minutes. I am just grateful. I'm thanking God for everything. If I take a deep breath, when I sit up and I feel my body waking up, when I hear my baby say good morning, or I hear cartoons playing because he been up for an hour and didn't come wake me up to say, Mommy, we still in the bed and it's daylight outside. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful. That's how I spend my morning. And then I go and I love on my kids sometimes, or he'll come in and he'll give me a kiss and a hug and say good morning. Those are staples in my morning. We pray. That's my morning. How you get up is how you'll stay up. So master your morning. If you can't master the beginning of your day, then that will explain a lot of occurrences in your life. Master your morning. All right. Number 10 or number 9? Okay, thank you, Tim. Number 9, life is good because I learned how to avoid mediocrity. Mediocrity is comfortable, but it is not good. It is not good. When you think about your comfort zone, life ain't good in your comfort zone. Life is comfortable and life is mediocre. And you're enjoying a settlement, not goodness. You have to want to enjoy the goodness of life and not the settlement. See, settlement means that you're saying, I don't care what is to come. I'm going to take what's right now. I don't care what is to come. I'm going to settle for what's mediocre and what's right now. I avoid that, and that's why life is good for me. There is nothing easy or comfortable about my life right now. I'm a full-time mom, a full-time employee, a full-time student, and trying to be a full-time business owner. That's a lot on a plate. And talking to y'all on Tuesday. That's a lot on a plate. And I'm not alone, because my fence got plates just like mine and even bigger. Everybody around me is better than me. I've never been able to say that in my life. I've always been top dog in all of my circles. In this one, I'm not. And life is good. Life is good. Number 10, life is good because I'm mindful. Mindfulness matters. You have to step behind the waterfall and watch what's going on. Get from under the stream sometimes. Step back and look at what's going on around you and be mindful of it all. Life is good when you are mindful of what's going on. Mindfulness matters because it helps to put things in perspective for you. And 9 times out of 10, what you're going to see is you have a whole lot of fingers pointing at others and not enough fingers pointing at you. Because everything happening in your life is your fault. So all the fingers should be pointing at you. But when you're not mindful, Shannon, you can't say that because he did this and she did that and they did this and they did that. And I'm going to tell you again, it's your fault. And when you're mindful, then you can say, okay, let me see where I can take responsibility in this action and in this occurrence. Number 11, life became good when I realized that failure was a privilege. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been honored to have the privilege of failing in life, you need to consider your life great. If you don't know failure, then you don't know good. Do you know how good it feels to fall and then get back up? Do you know how good it feels to take a chance on something only to have it not work, and then you take another chance on something only to have it not work, but then 50 million not workings down the line, bingo, Yahtzee, it works? Do you know how privileged you were to have failed? In order to experience that great victory, you can't know victory without failure. So failure is a privilege, and life is good when you accept that and receive that and embrace that. Number 12, 11, 12, 12. All right, what would I do without Tempest? Number 12, life is good. Life is great because I can have whatever I want. I can have whatever I want. Everything you have in your life right now, you have it because in one way or another, you wanted it, and the universe said, your wish is my command. Now, if you have some malarkey in your life right now, then you need to trace back your steps and think about when you asked for it, if you have that kind of time. Girl like me, I'm going to accept that I know that I was willy foo-fooing enough back in the day to where everything I got right now, I probably did bring it on myself. I don't excuse myself from anything, because that's a waste of time to go back and say, well, no, this wasn't my fault, and no, that wasn't my fault. We can all trace back. Life becomes good when you allow it and move forward and realize from this day forward, I can have whatever I want. It's a matter of a list. Writing a list of everything that you today want, and then walking out there behaving in the manner that you have it. Walking out there allowing it to come to you. Life is good because I can have whatever I want. Number 13, life is good because I'm a survivor. I'm still here. Whatever it was that tried to take me out, whatever it was that didn't want me to be here, whoever it was that tried to break me, suppress me, didn't want me to come, I'm here. And I'm going to be here. Even in my years to come, I'm still going to be here. When they put me in the coffin, my name's still going to be great. Because I say so. And because I live so. And because I receive so. When you get that, when you get all 13 of these things, you can have an assignment that is a week late and still know that source allowed it to be so, and you know that you are a doctor today. The university say they got to wait 3.5 years to give me the degree. I got the degree in my hand right now. Why? Because life is good and because I say so. That's all I got. I've enjoyed talking to y'all. I feel great energy from the people that's on the call today. I appreciate everybody that called in, even those of you that may not share verbally. I see all of you. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that I've said something that has been helpful. You can tune into a podcast soon. Every last one of these is an episode on the podcast that I will come. The name of the podcast is Life is Good with Shannon R. Clark. And I'm going to record that before I graduate. So these are episodes, and I ask that you would support. And I thank Tony and Tempest for this platform. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And we can open it up for Q&A or any tidbits, any piggybacking, anything anybody has to say, I'm open and willing to hear it and to share with you.
Wait a minute. I couldn't even wait. Wait a minute. I don't never talk on these calls. I'm going to talk today. Golly, what you say? I got some cuss words I can't even use for you right now.
Oh, Lord.
Man, hold up. I have so much to say. I'm going to point out my favorite part because I wasn't ready for it. It was new for me. You referenced how your parents and your 6 pillars is the way you said it. And you made me realize that our family, in most cases, don't have the priority to make us a priority after a certain age. 3 years old, 4 years old, 18, you know what? But after that, you got to go out and you got to do your own thing because that's my job. My job is to release you. And then you go find a new family that turns around and says, well, we're going to reverse this here. We're not going to release you. We're going to protect you. And you are our number one priority. I've never thought about that a day in my life, that is what friends are for. That blessed me. That honestly blessed me because I have the best friends on planet Earth. That's all I've got to say. That was new information for me.
Well, you know, I'm the one that be giving you new information, so I appreciate you admitting that. No, but on the cool though, Tony, I really appreciate it because I wouldn't know it either if I hadn't met y'all. So thank you so much.
Hey, Doc. I will be listening to your podcast. The one thing that stuck out to me was how you said life is good because you mastered your mornings. Thank you. Because I have not mastered my mornings. And I have seen the harvest of not mastering my mornings. I definitely thank you for that one. Definitely. This was an amazing call. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Forgive me. I'm watching Metro run across the street to practice, and but I heard everything. And mastering the mornings, Deanna, I'm telling you, that unlocked so much in my life, and it's something we have been hearing for years. But when you actually intentionally do that, and it started by me just saying, "Okay, I'm up. Be grateful. I'm up, be grateful." And I'm just groggy. I'm like, oh, Lord, thank you so much. Thank you for the slobber. Thank you for the snoring. Thank you for me having to cough to wake myself up. Thank you for this backache. Thank you for this stretch. Oh, I got a Charlie horse in my foot. Thank you, Lord. Just being grateful. And you'll be amazed at just that one little thing, what it'll do for you. So thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that helped. And I'll be sending you great energy to master your morning.
Dr. Clark, really at a loss for words here, because that just floored me from beginning to end. That just literally floored me. I'm lucky to not only be considered one of your pillars, but you said I was better than you. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm lucky and I'm grateful that you consider me as that. And
you receive it. She wants you to receive
I'm receiving it, Anthony. I'm receiving it in Jesus' name. But okay, well, here's what I really wanted to say the entire time. I was one of those kids that can get a whooping, and I'll find a way to make me joke or laugh about the whooping, right? So the entire time you were whooping me, I found something to make me laugh. You don't say number. You say nimber. And that's so hilarious to me.
Wait a minute. Are you making fun of my dialect? Are you laughing at the way that I say number?
There you go. That's it.
I think I said number the whole time. If I did say number, you better act like I said number.
That's it. I'm allowed.
Where Jazz at? You gonna get a spanking.
That's my age. I miss my age.
A preacher lost for words, but you could talk about my Thank you. I appreciate it. You're
That's why I
my
love you.
number.
This is why I love you. Great call, though. Great call. This was awesome. You literally, we like to use the word drag within our mastermind. And I would say you did a little bit more than drag me. You snatched me into reality. You snatched me. You didn't hold back. You didn't sugarcoat it. Nothing. You snatched me back into reality to understand that I have to master the 13 so I can master the happiness of my life.
Well, you are welcome. Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate your comments. Miss PJ, yes, I do suicide prevention counseling with my students. I have done it from the grade levels of 2nd to 4th grade. I just saw your question in the chat. Just wanted to respond. Anybody else?
Yes, I would like to.
I got another question. Do you use any of these principles you just listed with the children that you counsel as well?
Oh, yes, I use all of them. I use these, the life is good. I use I use middle school and high school students that I know that have the same characteristics, the loner characteristics, the awkwardness that's making these kids uncomfortable, kids that came from broken homes, kids that survived abuse. I use these positivity statements with them. They write them. They have affirmation pages. They sign contracts with me. Yes, ma'am. And it's amazing how much the kids understand it and can regurgitate it back to you. Their brains are so much fresher than ours. And so I have lunch with them every other day just because I enjoy talking to 7, 8, 9-year-olds more than the upper echelon of ages. But yes, I do use this.
That's what intrigues me. I see a lot of that age group saying, community functions, church settings, and you can often tell which children are troubled, but you don't know sometimes how to engage them. Or if they do want to talk to them about something of substance beside the usual. So I'm just curious how they respond to that input, to your affirmations with them.
They love it. They come in and they're ready to write them. Miss Clark, when we gonna write that stuff again? That's what they'll say until they learn affirmation. So you have to know a little bit. I meet them on their level. Like I have them teach me something. Like I have to Google this DJ named Marshmello because the DJ that these kids are super into, he wears white and he wears this mask, and I'm supposed to Google. They gave me songs that they like to listen to that make them feel better, and the lyrics to these songs are great. I do that part for them, and then they do affirmations with me, and it gives us a dialogue to talk about, with me being on their level with the music that they listen to and the artists that they like and things like that. But they love the affirmations. They love being spoken to like little adults because they understand.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, I noticed it reaffirmed me what you say to do in the morning of thanking God. And one thing that he's an actor, he used to say, put your slippers underneath your bed. So you have to kneel down to get your slippers and also thank God for that day. And another thing that I heard from an admiral from the Navy, he was a Navy SEAL, he was the commander. He said, we may have problems during the day, but make your bed. They used to have to make their beds and tight. You may have a bad day, but you come back to a bed already made. And so just the thing is to have the best start of the day of thanking God. It doesn't matter. Thank him for your sheets. Thank him for your computer, your Wi-Fi, the pencil. And, one thing was told to me once, yeah, I can write a suicide note, but I'm thankful there's an eraser to erase it. And that was one of the big things I remembered about that. So there's a lot, veterans go through suicide. There's 22 a day. In college, we did a 22 push-up, one for each person. So one of the things as a Marine Corps vet, I was in for 20 years, that I got my law of attraction and also my human services degree. I try to find veterans to help them. And with doing this public speaking and learning, you never stop learning.
Jack, you are so right, and it's funny you should mention it because I keep my slippers right there under my bed, and that's one of the things I'm grateful for in the morning, that I have slippers, and I keep my room clean now. But I keep my room clean now, and I keep my bed clean, so no matter what kind of day that I have, when I get home, if my space is orderly and I can just go in there and it smells good and it looks good, that kind of puts a sealant on whatever clutter I had in my day. Going into that clean space just kind of starts me over. It rejuvenates me. But 22 a day? Did y'all hear that? 22 men and women that fight for us, have fought for us, come back home and don't want to live because we haven't set it up to where they can live like they come home to a clean room every day. We got to do better. 22 people a day? My God. Thank you for sharing that. That gives me something else to pray about, to think about. What can we do about, Antonio is a veteran, you're a veteran, we have other veterans, and we do, because of Tony, we do go over and beyond, like remembering things, but at the same time, 22 a day. My goodness. Thank you for sharing that. I needed that eye opener as well. Thanks. And thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. And one thing I do still, that some veterans, even Vietnam vets, or I see the Korean War vets, is to thank them. And they see my hat, the Marine Corps, and they said, well, thank you. And I said, well, welcome. One thing, Vietnam veterans didn't get a welcome home. So what I do is I say, in addition to thank you for your service, welcome home. And so there's a couple that said, wow, I don't hear that. And so something to brighten their day. And, we're losing our older vets. The last one was, I forgot his name. I think he was 117 years old or 107. He was a World War II vet. It seen President Obama in the White House. And so I saw him pass away, and you think about it, the veterans and the people helping the veterans. The thing is to get with the veterans and to let them know that they are not alone. Some may not want to help, some don't know how, but I'm hoping to get back down to Cherry Point, North Carolina, where I retired out of, just to see what they're doing for the transition.
That's awesome, Jack. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here, and thank you very much for your comment. Anybody else?
Doctor.
Hello. Hey, Shannon.
Okay, I got
Can you
three.
hear me?
Okay, hey Michelle, and then I think I heard Grace. I thought I heard Talisha, and then I thought I heard somebody else. So don't y'all go nowhere. Hey Michelle,
Hey,
how
I'm
you
not
doing
going to take
on
up too
today?
much. I'm good. First of all, I cannot wait for the podcast. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be awesome. I think one thing that I realized as I'm sitting here listening to everybody comment, when I know this is that it is for me to receive, I get kind of speechless. So I'm kind of speechless at the moment. So I'm just taking everything that you said in, and I just want to let you know that I received everything. And I love you and thank you so much.
I love you too, and thank you for receiving. For a speaker, for a presenter, that's probably the top accolade is that you could tell a person that has spoken to you or that has poured into you is that you receive it. And that's coming from a person that used to hit prosperity away with a baseball bat. So being open and receiving is awesome. And so thank you for that. I needed that.
Well, I know that was for me because I was speechless. I'm just taking it all in. So thank you and hurry up and get that podcast out.
You're welcome. I am. The universe moves in speed and it's pushing me to just get it done.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Was Talisha, you still here? Oh no. Who is 913? I saw your mic go away first. Whoever is 913-370, you have something to say? Your phone number in 6803? Maybe not. All right, Talisha.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I can. I'm sorry. Hi.
I'm sorry. I was talking. I didn't realize my phone was on mute.
Oh no, it's okay.
This is Michelle G.
Hi, Michelle G. How are you?
Okay. Forgive me for the way I sound right now, but I'm like Michelle. I received everything that you said. Um, I didn't get to hear the very first part, but I'm going back and listen to the very first part of it. But everything that I heard, I receive it. And I totally agree with you that how your morning starts determines how your day goes. Um, because even just being out of it and having surgery and being in good spirit, when I got up that morning, I was in good spirits. And when I came to, my day was just, even though despite the events, everything was just a good day. And starting with God being grateful, I can't do anything but thank Him and be so grateful. Um, and you learn those things as you go through life because of different things that God takes you through, your different trials. And they're only to make us stronger and therefore are good. But at the same time, when we don't realize that and we don't accept it, we just look at it as everything's just all bad. And even, sometimes I know for me, let me stop saying we, I know sometimes I slip back and I'm like, okay, I can't do this, that mindset, but I'm getting better at it. And I'm learning that the more I focus on my dreams, my goals, the better everything goes for me. So thank you for everything you said. I greatly appreciated that.
Well, Michelle, you are welcome, and I'm so glad that you are here. gratitude is numero uno. We are naturally programmed to allow bad and avoid good. And we weren't born programmed that way. But somewhere through us being raised and through our life experiences, we tend to allow the bad more than we do the good. And so when you tap on into being grateful and allowing good to come to you, then it is a speechless type of just awesome kind of experience, to where pivotal circumstances don't have to trigger our gratitude. Like, we don't have to lose a loved one. We don't have to almost get murdered in a drive-by. We don't have to have a car accident to be grateful. Let me tell you, this morning I sat on the toilet and was grateful for toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? You're grateful for just things that we take so for granted when you actually tap into gratitude, you know? And I appreciate your comments. I feel your energy. I feel like you are tapping into a higher form of yourself. And I don't know who your ambassador is. I don't know in what capacity you're with the company. I know that I've seen your name before, but I'm going to keep up with you because I feel like you're on the verge of some things. And so I want you to stay close to ATS. And I want you to every once in a while just let me know how you're doing, what you have going on, because I expect, you know, big things to come from your name and from you. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being.
Thank you, and I will. Michelle Mueller is actually her and Grace, and I check in even with Antonio from time to time. I go through things with my health. However, I'm not letting that stop me from doing what I want to do and where I want to be. And Antonio and Bryant, you two will be happy to know that I finally was able to put the words on paper and started the book.
Good for you.
Amen. Blah, 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 y'all.
So that's awesome. So you called out all the names that all right, the universe has your back. I see you, Jack. You are connected to all the right people. So I know I'll be hearing about you. So thank you so much for sharing. Miss Talisha. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I did forget one person, and that's Tempest, because I do check in with Tempest from time to time as well.
Oh yeah, that'll get you in the gates of heaven right there. Tempest is the angel. She's sent on earth from God. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But that's good. You're connected to all the right people. So you keep doing what you're doing, and I'm ready for that book. It's going to help me. So go ahead and write it. Building business etiquette.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to say, I can't wait for your podcast. When the first one, I'm going to beat Antonio. I want to say everything you said stuck to me, and especially about waking up in the morning being grateful. That's something I started practicing a lot now. And every morning, this is going to sound weird, but every morning I put my hand over my chest and feel my heartbeat, because the things I have tried to do to myself in the past has not been good. So every time I wake up and when my eyes open, I have to feel my heart to know that I'm still here. And once I feel that heartbeat, then I say thank you. Another thing I wanted to mention is, you said being thankful for your failures and your struggles. That's something else I'm starting to get better at, because at first when you look at failures, you just think, oh, it's a failure, it'll never get better, you think all negative instead of thinking in a positive way. And until you start looking at them and seeing the light, of them, then you won't ever get past them. So for me, that was an eye opener, and thank you so much. And one more thing I started doing, when you said about the toilet paper reminded me, when I first started reading this YouTube book, this lady who wrote a book about writing gratitude letters to yourself. And so she says write 10 of them each day. So I was like, how in the world I'm gonna write 10 each? I barely can say one. Like, are you serious? So once I got into doing it, I was just like, whoa, I'm grateful for a lot of things. And stuff like what you said, the toilet paper is like one of the things that something so minute, you realize like, oh, wow, I'm very grateful for that. And then on top of that, not only did she say, write 10 things you're grateful for, you tell why. So she went even deeper with it. So I really appreciate this. This was a great call, and can't wait to see your podcast open. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much. If someone could type number 13 in the chat for Phil and Grace, I'm gonna I think you were up to talk. Well, no, I think Phil has his mic undone. So Phil, if you were gonna go ahead and just ask, you can.
Yeah, I wanted you to review just real quick, go down the list for the 13 very fast, but I would like to make a suggestion that as human beings, we are actually programmed to be negative. It's called the reticular activating system. And we were hunter-gatherers a lot longer than we were farmers. When you put a child on a kitchen floor, what does a child find? Dirt, cat food, Cheerios. The child will recognize the pattern of the floor, and then the child's attention, the child's focus will focus on what doesn't fit the pattern. Or you get a new car, you get a ding on the car. For the next 2 weeks, what do you look at? The ding. If it's on the passenger side, you'll walk around. Or if you get a little spot on your clothing, ooh, I can't wear this clothing, it's got a spot. It's called the reticular activating system. And when we were hunter-gatherers, and we were hunter-gatherers a lot longer than we were farmers, our job was to look at the woods. If the woods would change, it could be food, or we could be food. So we have to override our humanness and count our blessings. And that's what you pointed out with gratitude. If you don't have your health, does anything else matter? If the people we love don't have their health, does anything else matter? If you've lost hope or faith, does anything else matter? There's a French philosopher who says we're not human beings that have spiritual experiences. He says we're spiritual beings, and we're just currently having a human experience. And we live better than 95% of the kings that have ever walked on this planet. Access to food, access to clothing, access to transportation, access to entertainment, access to sanitation. If we put 95% of the kings that have ever walked on this planet into your life, we literally would improve the quality of their life.
Thank you so much, Phil. You're absolutely correct. Thank you for that knowledge. I will go through all 13. I'm going to get Grace, and then I'll do it right before Tempest closes out the call. Friend.
Doctor, always a joy to hear you speak ever since we were kids. And every time I hear you, you get better and better. And when you talked about the first one, you talked about everybody on the call. If you ever get a chance to meet Shannon, take her to an amusement park, because it is the absolute funnest thing to get on a roller coaster. You are not scared anymore, because she is not lying when she says the first thing she does when she sit down and they lock us in, she starts screaming. So you immediately, you're not scared anymore. I was too busy laughing because she was busy screaming. I was like, wait, okay. But I had so much fun that day. But everything you said was really good, really good. You nailed it from number 1 all the way to number 13. Like everybody's been saying, life is good because of gratitude. If you get gratitude down, you've got life down. Just being grateful makes everything good. And again, you amaze me every time you talk. So keep it up. Can't wait for the podcast. Looking forward to listening to it, and love you as always.
Thank you. And if you did, Grace, did you write them down? Any of them? If
Okay.
somebody wrote them down, what happened was I got down. I didn't have number 13, and I trusted that through energy I would get it. So if anybody has number 13, once I get to number 12, come in with number 13. But I'm gonna list all 12 of them right now, and hopefully I'll remember 13 when I get down to 13. Okay, so number 1 was, and she is right, the minute they locked me in the ride, I screamed. Roller coasters turned out to be okay. Okay. And that was me. Hold on right quick, y'all. Hey. Sorry,
Shannon,
I'm here.
hey Shannon,
Yes.
PJ here. Sorry to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Throw this on your list. 13 was what I put was I'm a survivor because I'm still.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
When I'm in a coffin, my name will still be good. I love that part.
Yes.
I love that part.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, and all that.
Okay, thank you. You're absolutely right. That is the one that I said. And now I'm gonna list them 1 through 13, and hopefully nobody comes and scares me at my car window again. Okay, I'm writing down that one. All right, so here we go, really quick. Thank you all for your time. Number 1 was roller coasters turned out to be okay because fear is not real. So number 1, fear is not real. Number 2, life is good because I allow others the enjoyment of their life. I allow everyone to be who they are. Number 3, I met the real me. Number 4, gratitude. Number 5, I have a fence that is not my family, but they are my family. It's a mastermind team, if you wanted to give it a more concrete name of what my fence is. Number 6, life is good because I let go. I let go of anything that didn't want to be held or that wasn't holding me the way I needed to be held. Number 7, I mastered my morning. Number 8, I said yes to me. I might have skipped that one. Number 9, I avoid mediocrity. Number 10, I'm mindful because mindfulness matters. Number 11, failure is a privilege. Number 12, I broke the rules. And number 13, I'm a survivor. And I hope I said number every time. And I can definitely type those out. I'm sure we can get them to y'all if I can add some commentary to them.
Too funny.
Some little explicatives to them if need be. But like I said, every last one of those is a podcast episode. So you'll have about 15 to 20 minutes of expounding on each one of them because that's where I got my list from. I have 100 episodes written out, and that's 13 of the episodes.
You missed one.
Which one?
I can have whatever I want.
Oh, see, the energy gave me that one because I think it was one on here that I didn't do, and that is definitely, so it's 14. I can have whatever I want. We're not taking that one off because I can, and so can you. Whatever you want. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sticking with me. It's been an hour. Thank you for your time. I don't take that lightly because time is of the essence when we're working on things that we want out of life. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Tony and Tempest, for this platform. Thank you for Deanna, who actually switched with me. Last week was my week, but I could not present to you all, and she went out of turn and was ready. And from what I understand, she was awesome last week. And so I appreciate you, Deanna, for that. And I love each and every one of you. And I'm so glad that you're here because I couldn't do what I do and be who I am without each and every one of you. So thank you. We are one. Tempest, I'm done.
I have nothing to add. Dr. Clark, you were amazing as always. I'm looking forward to your podcast as well. If you're watching us live right after this at 7:15 Central Standard Time, 8:15 Eastern Time. Antonio and I are doing a live interview with Jerome and Talisha. They have a podcast that just came out today called So Happy Series. It is based on the books that Antonio T. Smith Jr. is writing, starting with So Happy and Grateful. And we are interviewing them, introducing them to the world, getting their name out there. So please lend us a few moments on Facebook
Make it
and watch.
7:45. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Make it 7:45.
7:45 Central Standard Time, 8:45 Eastern. Please lend us a few moments of your time. The interview will be well worth it, I promise. Watch it, support it. Please subscribe to that podcast as well. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you again to Dr. Shannon Clark, because her schedule is chaotic, but I'm grateful that she gives us an hour of her time on Tuesdays. And that's all I have. Do you have anything else to say, Shannon?
Nope. I love y'all. You can plan better. You can dominate. Good night.
You should really be famous for every tear you've ever cried, for everything that's ever happened to you, for all the abuse you've ever been through, for the divorce you've ever been through. You should absolutely be famous for that. Yeah, that's how I think. As a matter of fact, that's how most of us great motivational speakers or platform speakers, we are. I speak over 400 times a year. I command over $40,000 a keynote. $40,000 a keynote. I can make $30,000 in 30 minutes. All because my story was one of tragedy. And I've learned how to take it to one of great wealth. I want to teach you that. I want to give to you free, no risk, no charge, no credit card needed. Free 20 hours of how to get famous for telling your story. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate.
I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great. And you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have. It's not what you do. It's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to lead the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich, it's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now. So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, it's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money, or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy, I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class. I'm the crazy guy famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of six-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down, and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following, my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, and that book is called The Richest Man in the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. And to be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. And that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then, as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost. I'll take the loss. And all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate.